Hello everybody, welcome to the May update here at Revesby Estates and on the farm. So, start with the weather. Yet again it's been eventful with the weather, as always on my videos. We've been through an extremely dry spell of weather. It's getting quite worrying during May. We're at the point where the crops are trying to fast grow, develop lots, and we were fast running out of water. Luckily, as we got to the point where we're starting to see some of our crops drought out, we've managed to get some significant, meaningful rainfall. So in total, we ended up with 33.5 millimeters of rain, which all fell in sort of the last, I think it was about the 10 days of May. We had a high of 26.3, which was around the 26th of May, and a low of 1.6 on the 9th of May. Our average temperature was 12.9. So quite a nice May in terms of weather, apart from the rainfall. However, we have now received some much welcomed rain, and as typical with a farmer, I would now like it to stop raining and to get some nice sunshine. I think we're getting to the point where we've had enough rains now for us, anyway, on our cereal farm here to keep us going. I could now do with some nice sort of 20-22 degree temperatures and some sunshine. Nothing too hot, get above 30 degrees. A lot of these crops are shut down and don't do anything with it. Just basically finishes them off quicker and they don't fill properly. So yeah, that's the weather. In this update, we're going to see Adrian. Adrian's the assistant farm manager here on the farm. He keeps everything running day to day for me, whilst I'm more busy looking at the strategic side of things. So we're going to see Adrian busy in the rape, pushing the rape tram lines down. Well, I'll explain more of that later in the video. And right now, I was just going to show you some of our stewardship strips, which we put in for the wild birds to help feed them during the hunger gap later in the winter. Yeah, and Rhubarb's probably just spotted one of them said birds right now. He's getting quite excited. But the dry weather we've had has been impacting these. So let's just take a look. Okay, so I'm in, apologies about the breeze, it's a bit windy today. I'm in one of our wild bird mixed fields here. You can just see the green lines behind us. This has been drilled now for several weeks, probably about 3 weeks actually, but it's maybe 4. It's been struggling due to the dry conditions. So it went in and then it sat dry and not really doing anything. It's finally got going now that we've started to get some rains. I think we've got enough survival rate in here though to give us enough variance and give us enough food sources. So let's just take a look at what we've got. So it's quite a large plot in here. We've got 5 hectares in total. So let's just take a look at what we've got running down some of these rows. So yeah, down the row you can see the main constituent will be like a cereal grain. We've got some rye in here. We've got some millets coming up in here too. Surprisingly, it's been so dry, we are getting slug activity, some rasping from the slugs here. There should be also some sunflowers. Yes, here's a sunflower growing up, just to give a whole variance of seeds. There was some golden pleasure in here as well. But you can see certainly the cereal side of it getting going in the green rows now. So yes, ideally this would be further forward now, a lot stronger as well, but I can't do a lot about the dry conditions what we've had. This was direct drilled into this field, so it did preserve some moistures, which has helped certainly the cereal elements get going. I have to watch them slugs, but hopefully it's getting strong enough now to outcompete them. So we'll see this again in the late summer, when hopefully all the sunflowers are out. If you look back through some of our past catalogue and our videos, you'll see this exact field actually was wild bird mixed last year, and it had a vast array of colour in it, providing multiple seeds for the wild birds. And you can hear a lot of birds singing in the background now, if the wind's not drowning them out, just to see the birds through during the hunger gap. Okay, so let's go and meet Adrian. So we're in one of our oilseed rape fields, and you can see by this rape it's nearly the same size as me, same height as me. We'll probably have to go through this field one more time with our sprayer just to apply a desiccation product to it to ripen it for harvest, so we can get it in. The problem is that the size it is at the moment, we will shatter a lot out as these become brittle on our next pass through. So behind me here we've got Adrian, who is just passing through here, preparing this rape for the next pass. So we'll let Adrian explain to us what he's doing and why he's doing it. So I'm joined by Adrian. Adrian is our assistant farm manager here at Revesby, and Adrian also operates the sprayer the majority of the time throughout the year, who you would have seen many times on our videos. So Adrian, if you want to explain to us what we're doing here today.
Hello everybody. Like Peter just said, we've got a very tall rape crop, and we've got to now train the rape in the tram line to make it easy for when we come to desiccation, and then make it easy for the combine to pick up this rape. So what we do is we've got two barrels we've put on the front of the tractor, and we push it down so it's lower than the lowest point on the tractor, which on the Fendt tractor is the hitch. So the idea is to slowly go through, not going too fast, so we're pulling it up by the roots, because at this stage of the crop it's still green and rubbery, so we can soon mould it to how we're wanting it to do.
So yeah, let's just take a look at that moulding, what Adrian's mentioned there, on what we're doing with the crop. So you can see here how it's been pushed down, and then in the crop here, so here are the stems. We've managed to push it over but not actually split any of the stems, so this is still going to carry on maturing, but you can see the lean on it. It's at the right stage now where it won't actually pop back up and causes a problem, but we haven't impeded the yield on this crop at all, because we'll still be able to get the flow of nutrition up these stems.
So the next time we come through this crop will be for desiccation. At this stage the pods will be very brittle, so we're wanting the tractor just to glide over, and which it will do, and there'll be minimal shattering. We do this operation in lands, so we're always turning to the left. So we're always going back on ourselves. So when the combine comes after the desiccation, it'll be following the opposite way to the tractor has travelled, so it feeds a lot easier.
And it's also important, Adrian, isn't it, you say about turning left, is we can't turn back on ourselves, because once we've lent the crop over one way, if we was to come back the other way, it would lift the crop and then snap it on its stems. So it actually takes Adrian twice as long to do this pass on these fields, because he's got to do it in lands and keep missing one and then coming back around on himself. But it's a very crucial step, like Adrian's explained there, to make sure we don't get shattering out, because we are on a trailed sprayer system here. Other farms will have the self-propelled and they get more clearance and they can get over the top, but by doing it this way we actually find we get less shatter onto the rape than we used to get when we had a self-propelled machine ourselves. So when we come to harvest it as well, Adrian, do you want to explain a bit how we now have to harvest this rape once we've laid it down?
It's very important when we come to combining that the heads of the rape are fed into the combine first. Because we're on the controlled trafficking system, the centre of the combine header is in the middle here, so if it was pushed both ways, it would cause a problem feeding into the combine. The reel, we want to keep it out of the crop as much as possible because of the crop being so brittle, so it's important that the crop feeds itself into the header as easy as possible, and by doing this this way it enables it to do that.
Excellent, thank you for that, Adrian. Right, we'll take a look at what's actually happening in action. So here as Adrian comes down this tram line towards us, you can really see the height difference and how he's pushed the rape down. He's now going to drive into this tram line. The barrel just pushing the rape. then there's the clearance. What we have to stop it shattering out. So here Adrian comes back up towards us. He's going nice and steady just to allow the plants to fold down underneath him rather than going fast and pushing them and snapping them and potentially dragging them along. You can see them dropping down as the barrels push. So thank you to Adrian there for explaining what we're doing going through this rape and just pushing these wheelings down. Now it may be that we don't actually have to run through here again because the rapes are looking fairly even this year. They may ripen on their own and we may not have to actually do another pass. So this is just prepared as in case we do. But what we'll do is this gets more towards ripening. These will here turn a lot more brown and the seeds inside will go black, so we'll probably have a look at that more end of June, beginning of July, and we can also send a drone over the top to give us an image of how even the field is also ripening off. So we push the wheelings down just in case, but we haven't made our minds up yet how we're going to have to get this crop to finish in time for harvest. So hope you found that informative. I look forward to seeing you for our June update, when in June it'll be prepping for harvest. Depending on what the weather does, the barley may not be too far off actual harvest, so our attention now turns towards planning for harvest and also planning for the following season that is coming. Okay, so we will see you then.